Welcome everybody to the Azure and AI Show. My name is Frank Falvey and I'm at Microsoft MVP in the M365 Copilot. And today, hopefully we might have one or two other people join us, but I'm going to start off there about some agents. So the website I'm going to bring you to is called adoption.microsoft.com. And I'm going to just put, for people on LinkedIn or YouTube, I'm going to post in the link to the site. It's called adoption.microsoft.com. And they've got loads of free stuff in there. So I'm just going to share my screen and we'll kick it off with, we'll use some of the samples that they give on the website. And here we have adoption.microsoft.com. Sorry, I'm just waiting for some people to join, and so just 1 second there. Okay, so we're over here on this website anyway. When you go to here, we have the agent templates, and there is a good list of them, and we're going to go through and we're going to make one of these agents. So as you can see there, look, it's giving you customer insights, which is a very popular one. It gives you can download the template and the guide, template documentation. So I'll just go ahead and we'll just download this template guide here. Let's just open it up in the next page. So we'll just wait for that. Okay, so you can see it's given a PowerPoint presentation. So I'll hit this start the slideshow and we'll just go through it. Okay, so this is what Microsoft is giving you to make your agent your customer insight assistant, right? So it's giving you all the steps to how to build your agent. We'll actually go in live into the Copilot studio to make the actual agent as we go on. So the next slide, actually I have to download first. Okay, sorry now. Okay, open the file. Okay, so it's given us 3 slides, isn't it? 5. So there's the first one, and we'll just hit the slideshow from the beginning. Sorry now. Okay, just sorry now, somebody is trying to join us. Okay. Sorry, just 1 second. I'll just stop sharing for a minute. And I just want to leave somebody's trying to join us there, so we'll come back to that. Okay, so this is the first slide. Here we're on slide 2, right? So the customer insights empowers teams to deeply understand customers by automatically generating rich structured profiles. So I'm not going to go through the whole lot of that. It gives you a little demo here to watch as well. So I'm not too sure whether you can hear it or not. We'll find out when somebody will join us, and I'll play that again. So the slides anyway, quickly, how to further enhance your customer insight. So just telling you, you can click on the different links and it'll bring you to Microsoft Learn, where it'll kind of bring you into more in-depth stuff. So it says personal, your customer insight report template by adding it to the agent instruction. So if you click here, then it'll bring us to Microsoft Learn. So I'll just click into that. And as you can see, then it's giving you a whole detailed how to actually create the agent. Okay. So this is one for onboarding buddy. The description. Just 1 second now. Just leave somebody in. How you doing, Bart?
Hi, Frank. Good evening.
I was just doing some stuff there on those the agents in Copilot Studio.
Awesome.
So you were going to do some stuff for us on Azure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I went in a little bit complicated time, so I wasn't able to complete everything. But at least I can give a brief introduction on what I am working on right now as one of my side projects.
Okay.
So
the last one was very good that you done there with that was the policies as well, the Azure policies.
Yes.
With the PowerShell script.
Yeah, definitely. I really got some good feedback from the community already on that level, and not only from the community but also from organizations as well. Where like, oh yeah, this was really something which is not available in Azure right now. Until Microsoft fills the gap, can we utilize it? Because we're right now in the middle of the process on choosing our hardening profiles. So I submitted it to Microsoft in their feedback category. So hopefully they will build it natively into Azure. And until further notice, everything is available for the community to use. So hopefully it becomes to the benefit of all of us.
That's great. If I just carry on with my thing that I started there, and you could we could have a chat a bit more about it, and we'll see if anybody else joins along the way. 1 second there now. I had up a screen there. Yeah, so it's customer insight assistant, right? This is how you build one of those agents in the studio, Copilot Studio. So just go on to the next one. There's only 5 slides. Bart, you can tell me there if you can hear this, because you can see my screen anyway, yeah?
I do see you, but I don't see your screen at the moment.
1 second there now. Yeah, I had to stop sharing one to go and let you in. That was okay. 1 second now. You see that there now, yeah?
Yeah, here it is.
Okay, so I just wanted to do one test there to see if the sound comes out in this little video. Can you see the?
Yeah, I see the video.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's no audio to forwarding, it seems.
Okay. So that won't work here anyway. But people looking for this anyway, they can do it from there's only 5 slides, so you can actually download this for free. And I shared the actual website where this can be done. It's adoption.microsoft.com, and I put it into the chat there earlier. So just to come back here, this slide 3. And yeah, so like basically using templates in Copilot, right? So there's just 4 steps inside there. The first one is access the agent in Copilot. and create the agent. And then you can, step 2 then is to select and configure the tab. And then 3, then you can choose a template and adapt it to whatever type of agent you want. Step 4 then is add your organization's data. So you can either use the stuff that Microsoft has in the internet in their template, or you can turn that off and you can just use your own organization's one. That's what that is about. The other one then is using the template in Copilot. So it's giving you kind of the other steps, right? You can adapt sample prompts if you want inside there. And I'll demonstrate all these steps as we go forward. And step 6 then this is only just kind of show you what the PowerPoint presentation they give you, so as you can follow the steps in building your agent, right? So step 6 there is you can publish the agent, and then step 7 is where you can share the agent. So you can either put out your SharePoint site or onto your company's website, wherever you want people to see it. And step 8 then is use your agent, basically, you can test it. And I have it opened. 1 second there now, just to go back. So this one, I downloaded that template, right? And then the second part of it here, it gives you the template documentation. We'll just click into that one. And that just brings you over to where all the documentation is for setting up your different scenarios inside here. So they've got loads of stuff here on their website, and these are a couple of samples of different agents. So if I go over here to, this is Copilot Studio, and these are some that on the left hand side, if I just hover over, and these are different ones I made previously. So if I go up here to create, right, so it actually gives you some that common ones that are already built, websites for questions and answers. Here's a safe travel website, financial insights. So they have all these pre-built ones that are very handy, and you can see there up in the top here I have new agent. Just to go down through the other things here, there's agents here. These are all the ones that I previously made, or you can actually import ones that are loads of different companies have them, right? We'll just give you a look at that first. 2 seconds is loading. So 1 second now. So open source, right? They're giving you a couple of different things up the top. Open source ones, published, all customizations, and there's a different history, and new solutions. Okay. So we'll just go back to where we were here. And there's different flows then as well, because some of the agents can actually get very complicated. You can have simple ones like retrieval agents that they can just search website for you and bring up whatever you want, or you can have up to autonomous ones which get very complicated. They'd have triggers and flows and all kind of stuff like that. And this is the tool section. Create your first tool. Okay, I haven't made any of those yet. So, and these are just a different Power Platform if you want to integrate anything with them. So we just go back here to create, and the one that we have opened in the thing, we'll create that one. So I'm just going into the documentation here, right? The agent one, this one here. So what we want to do is we want to create customer insight assistant. Okay, so if I go, so the two buttons up the top here, right? So this one is to describe what you want, right? So if I go into the prompt down here now and I just paste in customer insight assistant and I hit the go button here, so it comes up here and it sees that I want to create a customer insight assistant, and it's working away on it down here, right? So automatically over in the right pane then it's after kind of more or less giving us prompts, analyze customer feedback, segment customer, identify trends. So all these kind of prompts that it's given us, right? So down here in this section then, right? So it's telling us that customer has been set up to help you analyze customer data, identify trends, and provide actionable recommendations to improve customer. The assistant is designed to guide, and right, so that's what we want, the assistant to guide us and interpreting analytics and segmenting customers and making, right? So this is what we want, and I'm just going to copy that and I'm just going to paste it down in here, and that will do the next section first. So it kind of predicts what you kind of want, and as you can see now, the prompts over on the right hand side has changed slightly because of what we pasted in here from it. So now the agent has been updated to guide users to interpreting analytics, segmenting customers, and making. So it's down here, this part then, it says let's confirm the agent's name. Would you like to proceed with customer insight assistant, or would you like another name? So I'm just going to say yes. We're going to keep that one. Okay, yes. Then would you like to proceed? And I'm just saying yes. So now it's kind of coming down to the next. Okay, the agent's name is being set, customer insight assistant. Now let's define what the assistant will do, right? So it's asking me there, they could share specific actions or tasks and customer insights to perform. For example, should it generate customer report, provide recommendations, or help, right? So what we'll do is we'll just should generate reports and recommendations, just to make it simple. Copy that and paste it in below. Sometimes you might just have to edit this. Should it generate? So I'm just saying yes. All right, yes, it should. And get rid of the it and the space. Yes, it should generate customer reports and provide recommendations. And we'll just hit this one. So then it'll kind of change some of the prompts on the right hand side because we kind of cut down some of the information we put in there. So now it's kind of saying the customer insights will generate customer reports, provide recommendations as part of its core functions. And it's saying to me, would you like to add any publicly accessible websites and knowledge? And this is a step optional. So we'll just say yes, we will for this demo. Yes. And I'll just copy.
So basically, you're configuring and installing an agent, basically telling it what to do and how it should act accordingly.
Exactly, yeah. So it's kind of interpreting what I actually want this customer insight agent to be, you know?
Yeah.
And it's giving kind of samples. So I'm just kind of saying yes. But when I go into the next step of this now to configure it, you'll see it's all in there, and you can actually turn off steps like stop the internet. Okay, so to add knowledge source, right? So we can add a different knowledge source as well in the next step, right? So we can now continue to the next step. Okay. So this saying is optional, this one. So I'm just going to go up here to the configure button. Okay, so it gives us a different view now. So it gives us the name, customer insight assistant. It gives us a description then, like, help users analyze customer data, identify trends, provide additional recommendations for improving customer experience with the focus of privacy and professionalism. So that's kind of what I put in there earlier. And then it kind of came up with all these instructions then itself. Guide users to interpreting analytics, extracting actionable insights. I won't read all of it, so people won't get bored. So down to the next section, then this was the one I was saying, if you wanted to add a knowledge source, if you just wanted to use all your company data rather than using the internet, you can go in here, add knowledge, and maybe put a URL to your company database or something like that. The next one below, then web search, I said yes, use the internet. So it actually enabled this one for me. And then when you go down further, then this is all the prompts that it's actually given us over on the right hand side. So we can actually edit these, or we can delete them, or you can actually pick where you want to drop and drag them here in this section. So we could just bring this one down, say maybe to the bottom, or put it in the middle. So that's, if you want them in the order, you can see on the right hand side then, if I customer trends, if I catch that one and drag it up to the top, you'll see the one on the right then will change to here. See customer trends. So that's that section of it then, right? So I can just hit the create button up here at the top, and it's just going to create the agent then first. So nothing very complicated in that. We'll just do a test on it there in a second when it just finished. Yeah. So it comes up then with a part up in the top there where we can actually test it, and it will give us if you can see there on the left hand side, it's the different models. It's using the default one as ChatGPT 4.0, or you can if you want to change that one, you can click on the three dots there and hit edit. And it will bring you in here then to edit your. So I'm just going to go back. So over here in the test section then, okay, so saying hello customer assistant is telling you what it actually is about, So so we want to go to test it. So I think there might be somebody just trying to get in. Just give me a second.
Yeah, sure.
No. Just go back. So we want to pick something from the list there. Interpret analytics. So we'll see how do we interpret analytics, and we'll see what it comes back with. Okay, so it's actually searching, and it's kind of coming up with a list of analytic stuff, right? Understand basics, analytic data, provide insights into website visitors, and kind of all that kind of stuff anyway. So it works. So you can actually, after that, in the test, it's coming up with all this kind of stuff about insights and different types of data. So we can just go ahead and publish. Hit publish. And then once that's published, you've got a full working agent for Customer Insights Assistant in a matter of minutes. And right, so up in the top then, right, it just gives you the first one here. It's giving you an overview, right? So this is the whole overview of your agent, the description, analytics, and web search. We went through all that before. The knowledge then is going to show you where the knowledge base is. If you want to add one, you can do so. The next one is tools. That's if you want to create tools for your agent. Here's where you do it. The other one brings you into agents. If you want to add other agents, you can get some agents to talk to other agents. So if you have a customer service one, and then you can have it talk to some other department, the marketing department or something for other information. So topics, so you can edit these things, like you can say goodbye, greetings, start over, thank you, and these are all kind of enabled, so you can edit these as you go along. So this is just kind of the activities that was actually, I only used one, and that's giving you the data when it was completed. The analytics does the analytics, and obviously there wouldn't be any analytics in here because we didn't really do anything. So, and channels then is the last one. So you can see it can bring it to all you can connect to all of these different things where your agent can be shared to, and that's kind of it on that. As I said, this is all on agent on Microsoft adoption.microsoft.com, and I already pasted in the chat, and there's loads of templates and examples on that site. So as you can see, these are all the popular ones.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of the stuff on the agents there. Once you have to have a Copilot Studio license to actually build them, but there's also you can build some of them in the chat as well. The M365 Copilot chat, you can build easy, simple agents inside there.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I believe that then also that agents you can also consume in different ways, right? For instance, I assume they have some endpoint or something which you can use in automation flows or all that kinds of stuff if you have them, like in Power Automate or in your own custom solutions which you might have.
Yeah, you can add all those in there. I had a PowerPoint presentation on some of. Now.
Maybe we can work together or something like that to see if we can create some demo at least on how to extend the reach of Copilot towards your own automation flows in the near future.
Yeah, definitely. We had somebody doing some flows, Power Automate flows there before. They had, we'd say, your outlook for your company, and then we'd say invoices would come in for separate products, and we'd say the automated flow then would actually move that email or the invoice into using the flow and put it into a specific folder for invoices. So you would not be looking at all the emails; they automatically go into the invoice folders and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the thing you sent on to Microsoft, so you're just waiting for that one to come back?
Yeah, and well, I've got a couple of things. One is I needed that feedback I just mentioned. So that's hopefully Microsoft's going to pick that up very soon.
And that would be one of your contributions.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I used it.
yeah, definitely.
But I do see that it's a gap right now, and I've been working on it with it for quite some while right now, and the more I keep running into it, the more it frustrates me. So yeah, hence the reason I created that custom solution I demoed the last time. Well, it's available for all people, of course, in the community. And yeah, hopefully in a couple of hopefully months, weeks, I don't know, when Microsoft has decided to build in Azure itself, it might not need it anymore. Or maybe even better, Microsoft says, well, you can look at here and you can find it here in the meantime, and feel free to use that one as well. So let's see how that one ends.
Do you want to show people where your blog is and where they can actually see the stuff to get done?
Yeah, definitely. Let me do that in the same thing, because there were two things I want to discuss, because I got a lot of questions also from other people, like when I either give trainings or when I'm assisting people what's going on, whatever. They ask me like, hey, the kind of training material you have, is it something you can publish? And normally I would keep it on my own storage solution somewhere. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, why not sharing it? So I made sure that everything on my GitHub on that level, on the training material I use and create, is now publicly available as well. So if people want to look in a little bit on how my mind works and how I provide people with my trainings, and that's now publicly available on my GitHub. So I will drop the URL here in the chat, in our private chat, and maybe you can.
Okay, sure. I'll share it there then. Yeah.
So the thing which I'm now working on, and that's something which is quite for some time on my list, is that, for instance, and people who are reading my blogs, they know I like event-driven architecture. So they are, if they are trustworthy followers, they know the types of things I'm taking into account, and the things which give me energy. And one of the things which grabbed my mind is like, when we're talking about IT infrastructure management, and we're talking about big, complex environments where you have a lot of infrastructural components like virtual machines or everything and going on, we often want to manage them remotely, either from a stepping stone, from management servers, or what kinds of things whatsoever. And I was like, each time if you want to run something on a remote server, you would have to connect to it, you have to authenticate, you need to run something and then get it back eventually. That process takes quite some time. And of course, there are ways on how you can do some parallelism on that. I recently created a blog on that topic, how to make sure that you use the system's capacity to its fullest in order to really power up your automation level. But I was like, there should be something which is way easier. Why always think of the mindset of where the actual engineer is sitting at his desk and bring everything to his computer? Why not, how we do it in software terminologies as well, is decouple those things? And I was like, I haven't seen any topic yet where there was some automation or PowerShell going on. It's something which I really like, who works with a decoupled mindset. So just servers, computers, whatsoever, all communicating to one central place to start their automation. Well, it's a little bit fluffy. I'm working on the demo, so hopefully the next time I'm joined, I have a demo available. But in the meantime, I made sure that I got some flows available, so that at least I can provide some insights with some pictures and some flow diagrams to make people aware on the thing I'm working on at the moment. So I will briefly share my screen.
Sure.
And then I will guide you through.
I'll let you know there now when I see it. And I have your thing going across the bottom of the screen there, your github.com/.
Yes, I see it.
Okay, so people can find that. And I've also pasted it on the...
Perfect. So you should be seeing my screen right now?
Yeah, I see your screen there now, yeah. Interactive flows and diagrams, very good.
Yes. So the thing I'm creating on is not anymore that a PowerShell script or PowerShell code is being executed from one source of truth. So it's not anymore. It's not this engineer's own laptop or his own system anymore. So I have created a PowerShell script, or I'm working on a PowerShell module, which is going to run basically and can run on each server you want to remotely manage. So it basically runs as an agent on that server with PowerShell. And the thing is, why I did it is I like PowerShell. I put a lot of energy in it, and I want to prove to the community that you can do basically everything with it. So also these kinds of things. So right now, what I created is, if, for instance, a system starts and a system is being configured with that new module which I'm creating, basically what it does, it automatically initializes itself. So it makes sure that it's going to listen towards Azure queues, Azure Service Bus. It connects to there and it starts listening. So basically, it starts listening for messages which are going to be sent by that engineer who's doing the actual work. And without having that engineer to constantly wait all the time for connecting to those systems, running commands, getting the input, when the input is gathered, close the connection, jump to the next virtual machine, and maybe do that like 100 or 200 times. It depends on the amount of service you are managing. So this is going to do that all automatically for you. It's going to make sure that when the system starts, it loads the configuration. It's going to make sure that queues are getting created on that Azure Service Bus. It's going to create parallel workers for you, and eventually it's going to process messages. So how is that going to look like? So that means that that engine, which is going to run remotely on that server, is going to listen to queues on the Azure Service Bus. So we are staying fully past. There's no need for additional infrastructure in order to run this thing. It will listen for the queues, whatever you want to configure, it will listen to that. And eventually, it takes whatever you're going to put into it, it's going to process that. So that means that engineer can just simply send a message to a remote server like, hey, give me the status on your Windows Update status, or give me your IP data, give me the local admins on your system, whatever you wanted, what kind of information you want. You can basically ask it like you're working in your own PowerShell session at that specific moment. There's nothing blocking you anymore at that moment because everything is being decentralized. But eventually, that remote node, which is going to work for you, is going to process all those things. So it makes sure that whatever it's doing, it proceeds with the process of messages. It creates all the logging for you, and eventually also with the error handling. So basically, with the things which I have right now is that I've created an engine. Engine is fully JSON based, works on the Azure Service Bus, and mainly works based with queues and by using .NET assemblies. After that, it's fully integrated with Azure, so we're using that Azure Service Bus in order to decentralize the communication and to process all the messages which are being received. Well, and the processing engine, that's basically the brain behind the module I'm creating. It makes sure that whatever you're going to remotely send towards it, it's being capable of dealing with it. And of course, for all the auditing we are right now in this modern day world, there's enhanced logging system available so that you know always what it does and how it's going to do it for you. Well, here below, it's get a little bit more technical on how the people can install it. This will all be available on my GitHub and on my personal pages as well. But basically, in the end, you're going to have a couple of options. You can run it as a Windows service. You can run things as a scheduled task. You can even run it manually if you want from your own system. So there's plenty of options for sys administrators in Azure, on premises, or within hybrid cloud setups in order to get this thing up and running. So basically, and hopefully the next time when I have this demo fully available and it already works, so I know the principle which is in my mind works, I can give you a proper demo like this is what it's going to do, this is how it's going to help you, and this is why it's going to make your life so much easier than constantly doing remote connections to servers, running into firewall issues, running into the fact that WinRAM is not configured on your virtual machines or what's kind of ever. This is not going to be bothered by all those things. This is going to be easy and straightforward, and really is going to make sure if you are managing a really lot of workloads and whatever you have, that you can easily manage it without all that hustle anymore. So basically, this is the sneak preview, Frank, on for the community as well on what's coming up, and
look
hopefully
forward to that.
I can integrate it with the module I showed last week as well, or the last session with the policy compliancy. And that if you don't want to run this from your own systems and you want to delegate these kinds of tasks to like workers in your environment or stepping stone servers or what kind of things or whatever, this is definitely going to be one of hopefully a really game changer on that field.
Very good. There was another update there that came out from GitHub there. It was the PowerCat Copilot Studio kit. Did you see that by any chance?
No, I haven't. I'm running a lot behind lately, I believe. So I haven't managed to catch the time in order to catch up on that.
Yeah. So it's Copilot Studio Kit September 2025, and they've kind of they've added a lot of kind of Microsoft authentication and test automation, custom agent usage. Looks like very interesting. You should take a look at that one. I think the last Copilot Studio Kit was in July, so the September one is released.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out then.
Yeah, I might actually put that into the chat as well if somebody wants to take a look at that. Second there now. Let's go to the comment section. I paste that in there. So that's posted out there if people want to take a look at that as well. There's a lot of stuff in the news about AI recently. Have you been keeping up with any of that?
I try to keep up as good as I can, and I am catching up a lot of things, but I believe that looking at the AI revolution we are in right now, I believe I'm not even getting at 50% of all the information and updates which are going on. It feels like it's going with a massive speed, at the speed of light almost, I would say.
Yeah. So the UK are looking at doing one up in Teesside, up in the northeast of England, and the AI data center is going to be something. It's going to be a gigawatt is the size of it.
Oh, damn!
When people hear so what are they on about these gigawatts? I heard somebody recently kind of the gigawatt is the amount of power that it's going to that it can generate, the amount of prompts that people will ask it to do stuff or whatever like that. But in layman's terms, right, a gigawatt is the amount of energy that it takes to run the city of San Francisco. Can you imagine that?
So we are using the same capacity of energy and the same utilization of energy for running a data center just for AI.
Yeah. A gigawatt is the size or the equivalent of the city of San Francisco. That's incredible, isn't it?
And then also what a nice news flash on that level is, I'm not sure if you read that part, but I believe you do know one of the big Dutch technology giants, which are in the lithography equipment, like creating the chip machines and so on.
That's AMSL, is it?
Yeah, it's ASML indeed. About the massive investment they did with the AI company in France. I believe hundreds and hundreds of millions of euros are going that way just to make sure that within the European Union we are not behind in opposite towards the Americas and the Chinese or any other AI equivalent on the globe. So they are really investing right now a lot of money on getting us feet on solid ground, basically, with European AI solutions, which are European driven and are, especially right now with the data sovereignty and sovereign cloud, it becomes a more hot topic constantly over and over. And you see it constantly coming back as well to the AI as well here.
Yeah. So the one in the UK next week, the President of America is bringing an entourage over. I think Sam Altman and of OpenAI and the head of NVIDIA, is that Jensen?
I believe so. Yeah. He probably has a big share in that new data center. If you talk about AI, and I dare to bet what kind of equipment is running by there.
Yeah. So they're coming to try and, I suppose, sell the chips to the UK for making that big gigawatt up in the northeast of England. That would be interesting. But,
definitely.
But the other stuff, the other buzzword that you hear around at the moment is kind of AGI, isn't it? Artificial General Intelligence. So they're saying, will that come online in 2 years' time, or is it going to be 10 years' time? So this is going to be around for a long time, So
it's not going away anymore. This is this one stays.
Yeah. So this what did they say? The genie is out of the bottle. Yeah. General artificial intelligence is the buzzword. So it's like, if anybody hasn't heard it, it's not like Gen AI, where it'll kind of make a Word document or make a picture for you, whatever. Once it gets on par with a human, it can do everything that a human's brain can do, and even more. That's what general artificial intelligence is. And they're working on it big time.
Interesting. I believe a lot of people right now get Terminator feelings and Skynet stuff at this moment.
It's it's scary, but like, where all the electricity is going to come from is I've seen the demo there early this year, and they're saying everything at the moment, right up to say May, all over the world in AI, we're using 1 gigawatt. That's the whole world,
Yeah.
So that's the amount of San Francisco. But in 2028, that's going to be up to something like 20 gigawatts.
Yeah, there's a lot of power-consuming hardware required in order to get this up and running.
Yeah.
Is the UK even ready for that, for such a big consumer?
I don't know that now, you see, because they were talking years ago, in the last 10 years, like there was things like the lights are going out in the UK because they don't have enough power.
But they still have AI.
Soft to get AI. But there was talks of that site in the northeast that they were going to make some hydrogen, fuel, not hydrogen fuel now, but the power stations, the hydrogen power stations, that they were looking to build it there, and it would generate 10% of all the UK's energy.
That's a lot.
Yeah. That's a good bit. So that's kind of some of the news on the AI front at the moment. Have you heard any other interesting kind of facts on it?
And not specifically on AI. I do know for Azure is more and more evolving right now. Also on networking parts, where initially, for instance, Application gateways, for instance, were only being capable on doing public proxying. So if you would want to protect your workload for egress traffic, well, then application gateway would normally be your friend. It'll make sure that it checks all OWASP rules and make sure that all potential hazards are being removed before traffic is being routed in. Now, recently, they also have configured it to only do for ingress. So that means only in the internal organization, because most of the threats, they come from internal networks, and Microsoft considered this as a gap. So they made sure that that ingress is now also supported for application gateways, which I think is very good. Normally, you won't be enforced to basically route your traffic back over the public endpoint in order to be evaluated against it. Now that's not necessary anymore. You can keep everything in the internal network, which for cloud engineers and cloud architects, that's a big win. And recently, Microsoft announced the fact that they will be stopping the support for default disks for the virtual machines. So I'm not sure how many people are still on it, but for the early adopters or those who were looking at cost reduction, the default disks of virtual machines, the HDDs, are going to be decommissioned, I believe, in 2028 or something. I'm not very good with dates, but it is coming. So people need to make sure that if they have virtual machines right now in Azure, that they at least have it on their radar to start a migration towards SSDs, premium SSDs, or even the NVMe equivalents if they really need strong storage power, so to say.
Will they still be using, we'd say, HDs for archiving stuff?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure on the Microsoft backend. Well, it might still be using HDDs, but for the customer-facing end, all HDDs will be decommissioned. So the SSD is the way to go.
Yeah, but do you know the way the SSD, the life of an SSD is not as long as a HD?
Yes, and it is more impacted by continuous write operations. So the more you write on it and overwrite, the more it will affect the SSD. I assume that looking at Microsoft, that they have definitely taken this into account when taking their business case by decommissioning the HDDs. But I do know that a lot of people were constantly complaining HDDs on Azure, especially in shared environments. It was almost unbearable how slow they were. So I believe that Microsoft is taking it for granted to the fact, like, we need to get rid of this as soon as we can, because the amount of complaints we're getting about disk latency, storage latency, and all kinds of storage-related non-performing indicators, I think it was not worth it, and that made them push the decision to decommission the default HDDs and move towards SSDs and the new NVMe type virtual machines, which are available.
Some interesting thing there that's that they are going to go away from those. Like, did you see the news article there recently? They announced a quarter, and Larry Ellison became the richest man in the world because what they've done with their data center, like, is, the way they got customers in, you know what I mean? They weren't just looking for enterprise, they were going across the board, and whatever business model that they done, it just, customers were happy and they were going to them, so
yeah,
they took a huge market share.
Yeah, I saw it, but I believe it was from short notice, right? I believe that Oracle, and then the guy was on top of one of the richest persons in the world, and then after a couple of minutes, Elon came back again, and now we're back in the original waters.
Amazing, isn't it? Yeah. That's interesting news anyway about the hard drives. Like, it's and more about Windows 10 on Azure. Is that being phased out in October?
I believe the images the computer images are still available right now. Although when you want to deploy right now virtual machines or infrastructure with Windows 10, you will be informed about the fact, of course, that it's the end of life is nearby, and that you should move towards Windows 11. So I believe that after the support has ended, the image will be removed from the compute galleries in Azure itself, so that it can no longer be deployed. But until further notice, you can still deploy it. But yeah, you will be informed on the fact that Windows 10 is basically reaching its end of life.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was going to be there forever when they were posting it every time. This is the last Windows.
Yeah, I strongly think that a lot of people hoped it would, but and I think everybody got the impression like because Microsoft even said like this will be the last Windows we ever create. Well, yeah. I think everybody already knew from the day of release that's not going to happen.
Yeah, because like they skipped Windows 9 and they went to from 8 to 10. This was.
I think they learned a lesson from 8, and then they were like, okay, let's take our time and let's make sure that we have something properly in place right now. And then Windows 10 came out.
8.0. I never.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who were used to Windows 7 just skipped 8 and moved to 10 when 10 came out.
Yeah. Like 8, I remember my first time using it. Like, where's the start button?
Where's the start button? Yeah, and then you had to install additional third-party software in order to get the start and the taskbar back again.
Yeah.
We're so used to it, right? We are basically from the Windows NT era. We are being used to the fact that you start in the bottom left corner of your screen. That's how it works. That's how we are used to operate with the computer, basically. And then suddenly it disappears. And we went to tiles, and everybody, I think, including me and myself and my entire family, was like, "Where the hell is everything? Where's the control panel? Where's this hiding? Where's that hiding?"
And they kind of swish over to the side of the screen, to try and get it. Oh, there's the tile is over there.
Yeah, I believe that was during that time. It was creating with a mindset for the tablet era, right? Because the tablets were booming during that time, and they were like, "Okay, let's put the tablet feeling also to the desktop and to make sure that there's one general experience on that." And on that level, I believe they missed their shot and were like, "Okay, let's let the tablets be in their own area and let's do what we are good at and keep Windows, and don't overextend with those kinds of things towards desktops."
Yeah, but then Windows 11 looks pretty good now.
Yeah, I think they have a solid platform right now. And of course, as it should, they are constantly updating it. I still sometimes struggle finding things which I normally find like in the old-fashioned control panel. I'm that kind of guy. And then I'm like, where the hell is this? Where's the control panel? I need just to modify this. Where the hell is it? And then oh yeah, it's hidden over there.
Jen, do you know the search on the front there in Windows 11 where the tiles are, and you got a search window?
Yeah.
Just type in control and it comes up.
Yeah, but I think I'm a little bit too old-fashioned for that. Or stubborn, at least that's what my wife always says. But
or you go the other way.
I'm always going the other way.
File Explorer and C drive.
That's for some reason, yeah, or use the hotkeys. So that's also.
Yeah, I suppose like you doing PowerShell, like you have to do it that way, like, isn't it?
Yeah, and from that level, I know my way around, so I'm fine. But sometimes, and I'm not normally you have to use a lot. But for instance, if I need to look up for the domain name of a VM or something like that, and then I'm struggling in sysinfo, like where the hell is it? Okay, then let me do it with PowerShell, because initially in the past it was you go to the computer, get the properties, oh there it is, and now you have to go like 3 layers deep in order to find it and get the right value out of it. So yeah. That's me. I moved away from workplaces, so that's I believe my thing. Like, yeah, I'm more comfortable right now in Azure and in automation and development than I am with workplace software, I believe.
You always use PowerShell for Azure, yeah?
Yes.
Everything.
Or the AZCLI just with the Azure Batch equivalent.
Yeah.
Both are for me are absolutely fine. when I'm in the Azure portal, I use the Bash equivalent, and when I'm running my own laptop, I have the Azure CLI and PowerShell available, so I use whatever I have in front of me, and both are fine.
Very good. Listen, Bart, it was great. We're up on the hour. Thanks for sharing that with us. And just stay there for a minute. I'm just going to end the live thing, and Bart will be back doing when he has his script or the program start. Is the
when the module is ready? It's a module.
It's ready. Okay.
Yeah.
And he'll be back on here and he show it in action. So thanks everyone for joining us this week. I'll be back next week again at the same time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.